like I should. Good morning, good morning. Y'all see I got my little old fashioned exercise bike right here. I need to get on it. I just wanted to encourage somebody on today. And I'm still getting my stuff in order because I would like to have a little, background music play. But I'm so excited simply because I got two different things. I'm trying to work this thing, but I'm so excited simply because I got to tell somebody, right? I got to tell somebody, try to put it on. I got two different things that so I got to tell somebody that even though yesterday might have been messed up for you, even though you might be going through a thing or two, right? This is the day that the Lord has made, and you got to make that choice. It's going to be somebody trying to upset you, trying to get under your skin, trying to make you come out of character, trying to really get you to go where God is taking you from. But I don't care. This is the day. This is the day. And I know it may not seem like it's going to work out for you, or you may just be like, my life is whatever you want to call it. My life is a jungle, or my life is just a failure. But I'm telling you, I come to remind somebody that today is the day, and God made this day, and I had to remind myself, because when I got up, right, I try to stay positive. But then when you are not by yourself, you have other people that will be negative. You got kids that will make you negative, like, hey, get up for church and everything like that. So I begin to say, this is the day. I begin to, because when you understand who God is in your life, you got to remind yourself of a thing or two. So you going through some things, you got some things going on, you got some come on, mental battles that you're facing, or you're trying to break free of some things. And come on, can we be honest, there's just some things going on. So I begin to say, this is the day that the Lord, and you say that thing with some feeling, has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. See, you got to say that song. It's like a old hymn that's been sung for ages, but when you say that to yourself, this is the day. Come on. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care how today started off. I don't care what happened earlier today or how it looked like. This is the day that the Lord. You might have to bury a loved one on today. You might not know where your next meal is going to come from. You may be looking for a job. There's some people here that's looking for a job diligently because you need it, because you got things going on. You may have a court date coming up. Look, I just had to pay off a ticket because let me tell you something. What I found out is that if you switch insurance, right, or something like that, your insurance lapses even for a short time, they charge you a $55 penalty fee. If you don't pay that, they will revoke your tags. I did not know that. Let me help somebody on today. So here it is. My tags was revoked, and I didn't know it because I didn't pay that little $50 penalty fee in the set time. So then I had a ticket. I like to keep it real. But yet and still, that ticket was $25, but the court cost was $192. So listen, that came up to $225. Hold on, yeah, that came up to $225 that I had. What's wrong with you? Huh? You better get out of here. Uh, so anyway, like I was saying, so I just wanted to remind somebody on today that this is the day that the Lord has made, and that we should choose. We got to make the choice that even though people around us, get out of here, get out of here. Chris don't want nobody in here. Even though we got to choose to, your socks is over there. Even though we got this, if you need something, just tell me. We got to choose to rejoice in this day. We got to make the choice. You can't let nobody else make the choice for you, because there's negative people all around you. And the thing is, when they're negative, it'll cause you to be negative. But no, somebody got to be positive. Somebody got to say, you know what, God is able. So you know what I begin to do, because it almost turned into like right now, get out of my bag. Excuse me for a minute. Go on out of here. No. So it'll be kids, it'll be things that'll try to cause you to be negative. But what you got to say is, this is the day that the Lord has made. And I begin to remind myself, I just started singing, this is the day. And the devil, come on, sometimes when you're going through a thing and people think you done went crazy because you just all of a sudden break out in a song, or you just all of a sudden just break out saying, you know what? I thank God for waking me up this morning. I can complain because somebody be messing with my gel, my hair products, my rubber bands. I can't find nothing that I need, because when you got kids, that's how it is, right? And I could choose to complain about all the stuff somebody done tore up that belonged to me. But I stop and say, you know what? But I'm glad I even woke up this morning, because see, somebody didn't wake up to be able to complain about some stuff that somebody else took or had or used. It's somebody's stuff that's sitting there that's going to be thrown in the trash, or that's going to go to somebody else because they're not here anymore on this side of the living land, right? So we think about this. I begin to think, man, I could have been in ICU somewhere. I could have been in ICU on life support. There's people that haven't, they haven't taken their medicine like they should, or they knew they had heart issues, or they knew they had sugar issues and things going on like that, and they just let that thing go on for so long, and before long it became worse, and they ended up hospitalized, brain dead. Come on with somebody. So I begin to say, well, I thank God that I'm still here in my right mind. I thank God that me, I don't know about you, but I could have been in the hospital on ICU with tubes down my throat. I could have been somewhere and calling somebody, asking them for a ride to get me to my next destination because I ain't got no car. I could have been somewhere without a place to stay at, sleeping on the streets, or trying to ask for handouts. But see, you begin to think about what you don't have. Man, I could have been, come on, I could have been still searching and looking for a job and not have one, knowing I need one because I got all these kids and all these bills that I got to take care of. Come on here, somebody. But God. So when we open up our mouth to try to complain about a thing, come on here, somebody, then we ought to realize, look, it could have been worse. You don't understand till God shows you there's somebody worse off than you is. You think because that person done hurt your feelings, hurt you, you might be going through a breakup. I don't know what you're dealing with, but you think that's bad. But it's somebody that's worse off than you are. When I realized that, I began to get up and say, you know what, God, I thank you for my right mind. Come on. I thank you for my right mind. I thank you for still giving me the mind to still be able to praise you and say, God, I thank you anyway. That still have the attitude that, you know what, everything's trying to go wrong in my life, but this is the day. Come on here. This is the day that the Lord had. I don't care. See, somebody think they done defeated you on today. They think they done got the best of you on today. They think they done got over on you today. They think they can keep using you on today. But this is the day that the Lord has made. And I'm going to choose them. When I go into church on Sunday, when I'm at home, I'm going to pray. I praise God on my job. Come on here, somebody. I sing songs on my job. Come on here. This is not just this is a lifestyle for me, because I know where the Lord has brought me from. And when I tell you that, you sometimes got to stop and you got to remind yourself, hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. My kids, you see me this is the day. You got to pause and say, and I begin to sing, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You say, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will enter. When I enter into his gates with I'm gonna have thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his courts with praise. I will say, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice. See, that you got to choose to rejoice, because he has made you glad, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. And sometimes you got to stop in the midst of it and say, you know what am I talking about? What am I thinking about? What am I worried about? Why am I about to lose my mind? Why am I about to get myself out of character? Why am I about to raise my blood pressure up? Why am I about to allow somebody else to allow me to? When this is the day, I try to be quiet. I try to be humble. I try to just listen. But you tell yourself, this is the day that the Lord has made. And guess what? I don't care what I feel like. Come on, because your feelings ain't got nothing to do with it, right? I don't care what I feel like. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. I don't care what it smells like. I don't care what the enemy tried to put into my ear. Guess what? You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay because this is the day, a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Come on. His mercies are new every single day. Somebody probably got you to a place where you don't went backwards. Come on, where you done backslid. But guess what? You're still alive. You can still get it right. The devil might have thought he fooled you, but guess what? You still got a chance, because guess what? You still alive and you can still make changes. You can still allow God to work on you. And one day, he gonna perfect that which is in you. One day, come on, somebody. One day you ain't gonna be able to say, "I don't do those things no more." Oh, that was the old me. And people gonna just be able to talk about your past, but when they see the new you gonna be different. You gonna be a new creation today. I got children for Sunday school. We're making caterpillars and we're turning them into butterflies because we're going to symbolize new life. I got a little craft they're going to do where the caterpillar grows into the paper bag. They're going to make that into the cocoon. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes out, it's going to be a butterfly because see, the old you was the caterpillar, but when God does the work in you, when God begins to transform your mind, you ain't going to be the same. And people going to be like, well, what happened to Patricia? Listen, she used to would easily do this or do that or go here. She was easily persuaded, but now she got her mind made up. Come on here, somebody. What happened to Patricia? She used to argue back and forth with somebody trying to defend her and talk about her flaws or whatever. But guess what? Now she's quiet and she's humble. Come on, God is doing a work. When he does the work, you will shut your mouth. You will listen more than you talk, and you will let him defend you. You won't have to. Come on, I don't have to defend myself. God speaks for me, right? So God, while you're still working on me, God, I just want to pray that you listen. You got a set day, purpose, and plan for each one of us. You know when each one of us is going to get to our breaking point, when we're going to get tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being with that person, being around these people, for going these places, or running from these things and all of this stuff. And all of a sudden, you're going to say, you know what? I'm just tired. I just give it all up. Just help me, Lord. And when you do that, come on, when you release, ain't nobody perfect. When you release it, when you finally release that which has held you bound, you know why? Because the strongholds, come on, it's strongholds in our life, things that are holding us. But when God finally say, my daughter, it's over for that, I am releasing you. He already done freed you, but it's just a mind thing. And then you got to get your mind right so that you can really be free. My God, today, it helped me. I say, this is the day. I don't care what happened. He made this day. He know everything that's going to happen within this day. Come on here. God already knows. And I trust you, God. God, I thank you. Let me say a quick prayer for my people. Because we need you, Lord. God, we need you, Lord. We need to be sincere with you, Lord. I like that one lady that I wish I could share. I don't know if she's on TikTok. But what happened is that she has a talk, like a blog thing where she's going to be talking about real life issues. And a lot of times when we're trying to talk about real life issues, that you will have a lot of people in the group that are censor stuff, that are kick folks out because they're trying to get an understanding of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they don't like that. A lot of times when you're speaking your truth or you're trying to get clarity, some topics are so controversial that you can't find nobody that'll talk about those things. But I liked her because see, you could come with your topics and you ain't got to worry about being booted out. When I get it, I'm gonna share it, which I did share it on my Facebook page. But you can come. She's real. I like her. I seen it on my cousin's page, and then I shared it. That's what I like. I like to be able to come with my. See, this is how you up here. I promise you, if you ever come to any of my lives, you say, or you could jump in my inbox and you say, hey, I have questions. And when I talk about this amongst church folks, and when I talk about this in the church, everybody gets all defensive. And come on, we can talk about it. Come on, we can talk. We can pray about it, and then we can talk about those things because people want understanding in this hour. People want to know the truth in this hour. They don't want nothing to be sugarcoated. We're not trying to see where you're at now, but we want to know, how did you get there, right? Did you go through anything? And when I first got saved, I was like, man, did you have any type of temptation? Come on, even Jesus was tempted. So we say, did you have any? Yes, there is temptation. Yes, the devil has fooled even the very elect, the people that love God. He's even fooled them. He sat back and laughed at them because you know what? We let our feelings get the best of us. You know what? We let our heart get in the way. You know what? He's fooled even us. So don't think that nobody ain't exempt from being tricked or tempted by the devil. Because it's still happening right now. We can stay prayed up. We can, but we still in this flesh. We're still in this flesh. But the thing was, when I got saved, I was like, geez, do these church folks ever make a mistake? I'm on pins and needles because I'm looking now and I'm like, my God, I'm scared to even make a mistake. But what I gotta realize is that I'm human, and I became to that point where you know what, I can fall too. I have failed, have went back, have messed up, have cursed, slipped up and cursed, have drank. Come on here. I have done things that have set me back because I allowed my flesh to overtake the spirit man that was within me. So when you go on this walk, come on here, somebody. When you go on this walk, it's not an easy journey, and you don't just I'm saved and I have become the perfect person. Guess what? Because God still got to work on you, even in the midst of. And there's some things that been with you for so long, that only God can take those things away. Come on, only God can break those habits. Only God can heal your heart that's been hurt time and time again. Come on, only God can do it. Your heart, you know how it feels like to have your heart broke, right? When your heart is broken by I don't know, maybe your husband or your wife or your maybe even your mother or your father, only God can mend the broken heart. You can go to a therapist and they can talk to you. Come on. Some people say I need a therapist for this, but only God, the inner parts of you, because of what happened to you, only God can heal your broken heart. Only God can do it. I don't know what happened. Some put a sound, but only God can do it. Only He's able to heal you. So allow Him to do it on today. Allow Him to help you on today, and to understand that just because you decide that you don't want to do those things that you're doing anymore, it don't make you a bad person. It don't mean you can't have fun, because in Christ we have fun. You can still have fun, but you just allow God, you allow His word and His Holy Spirit to lead you. There's certain things that you just ain't gonna do or say, and you got to be around a different crowd of people. But when you're hurt, I feel like when you're hurt, I, I had to learn this myself. When I'm hurt, I tend to if I let my feelings get into the way, then I leave God, right? And I go back into the world, or I try to find something worldly that can cover up or heal that hurt, but there's nothing that can do it. If I'm hurt, and say for instance, I get a divorce today, come on, I'm married. Listen, if I'm hurt, I don't run back to drinking and smoking and partying, right? Because there seems to be something that will help. I don't run back to whoremoney or trying to find somebody else to fill that void. No. But what I need to do is I need to get closer to God. I need to get into His word. Now I'm looking for something to soothe this hurt. I've been with this person for a long time. Come on, can we talk about when you've been with somebody for a long time and then your relationship is challenged, or you go through something? Maybe they just don't want to be. There's been times where maybe they just was like, you know what, I made a mistake when I married you. I made a mistake when I got with you, and I don't think it's a good idea. So I want to, and that other person wants to leave, but you want to fight, but you can't fight something that ain't fighting with you, right? So the thing is, you fight in prayer. You fight in prayer. You can't make a person be with you. You can't make a person love you. But when they got their mind, I know one thing: when they got their mind made up to go, let them go. Let them go. And then you rely on God to help heal you and get you to that place where you need to be. Because I be trying to tell my son this, and he's autistic, but he's stuck on this one person that he like. But son, it's a million people, it's a million women in the world, but he like this one. He like who he like. Right, you know what I'm saying? And you can't see, that's the thing, you can't see outside of the scope because you've been with this one person for so long. And then when that person up and leaves you, does you wrong, whatever the case may be, maybe they might even pass away. Come on. There's instances. I'm not guaranteed to be here forever. Me and my husband, we've been together for 16 years. We've been married for 12. It has not been easy. There's been arguments. Come on. I got to weed and fight through all types of stuff. I got kids that I had before him. Those kids are teenagers. There's problems people messing with folks' stuff. And my husband hates when somebody messes with his stuff. Right? We hate when somebody mess with our belongings. Even me, like, hey, what happened to my earrings or whatever? Well, I mean, and the thing is, there's gonna be little tidbits of things that will add up, and add up, right? Add up, and after a while, it'll get so overbearing that that person may just be like, you know, I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. But you got to be able to fight. But when that person gets to that point where they's like, look, I don't want to be with you no more. I don't want to do this no more. Maybe they found somebody else. I don't know, right? When it gets to that point, what do? You got to get on your knees and fight in prayer. But you say, okay, God, show me. Because if this person doesn't want to be with me, I can't make them be with me, right? So there's all types of issues going on, and we get stuck in our minds when these things come about. Because listen, there was once upon a time when I was like, what have I done? When I decided that I wanted to be all in for Christ and I didn't want to club and run the streets no more, it was like my other half was like, oh, I ain't ready yet. This was years ago. He wasn't ready when I was ready. And so what happened? We split apart. He wanted to go and do his own thing because he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to come to God. He wasn't ready to be sincere with God. Yeah, I suffered. I'm like, why am I suffering? Because I made a decision that I didn't want to be the way that I was anymore. I didn't want to keep drinking my life away. Come on here, somebody. I wanted something out of life. Why, when I made that decision to do that, did my life fall apart? Come on, my life fell apart. My marriage fell apart. Come on, thought I was getting a divorce because he wanted to do his own thing. Listen, so the thing is, when you just make that decision to do, hey, I can't, sorry, y'all, I can't hang around y'all no more. And if I do hang around you, I'm not going to be doing these things. I'll be in places where people would say, hey, we got all this drink, and nah, I don't want nothing to drink today. What, just drink something, girl. They'd be like, just drink something. No, I don't have the desire to drink anything, right? No, because drinking ain't doing nothing for my life. I got real life situations going on where I need to be able to be. The Bible says, be sober minded and vigilant because your devil is the adversary. He's walking around seeking who he can devour. So I need to be sober. I need to be sober so I can deal with these issues that I'm in sobriety so I can think clearly. If I'm drunk, then I'm doing something I ain't got no business doing. I don't let somebody tempt me. Come on. But I need to be sober. So that's the point where I got to. And I understand that when you decide, sometimes people go back. Because you know what they say, listen, I made a decision. I gave my life to God. I said I would go back to church. But man, my life done got terrible. Come on, my life done really got into an uproar. And let me tell you, mine's had too. I was on my own. My marriage was suffering. I had separated. I had to experience all the ridicule from him being, you know what I'm saying, from him being with someone else because we were separated, right? Man, that was embarrassing. And I had to just tell people, you know what? We just decided that we separate. We decided to do our own thing. I'm just praying. It's whatever. I had to allow, God had to work on me. You know what he showed me at the end? He showed me that, hey, if you're going to be for me, and I'm telling somebody this on today because we always feel like we got to have a partner. And like, okay, if my husband go to church, I'm gonna go to church. But what God was showing me is that it's got to be you can't serve me for somebody else or because somebody else did. But what it's got to be is it's got to be for God. I live for God. That means if my husband don't go to church, if my husband don't want to go, I got to go. Come on, if I got to go by myself, come on here, somebody. And I had to learn that I don't make. If I'm a serve God, I can't be two-faced about it. I can't soon as a situation hit me left field, now I'm ready to drop out of the church. No, I got to be consistent. Come on, I got to do it even when I got to do it by myself. Come on, I can't say, and a lot of times this is how we are. As long as everything is put together, and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to church. Yeah, I'm on the usher boy. Yeah, I'm on the choir. Yeah, I'm doing my part for the church. But as soon as I experience hard times, as soon as something hits me left field, as soon as I get out of my comfortability. Now all of a sudden, no, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to read my Bible. I don't want to pray. Come on here. That's being two-faced towards God. So I said, God, I don't want to be like that. God, am I perfect? No. But what I want to be is even when it's just me. Come on. Because anything could happen to any person that's around you. Like I tell my kids all the time, I'm not expected to be here all the time. I don't know when my day here on earth is up. So right now, me and my husband are married. Say, for instance, I pass away. Now he's gonna be widowed. Come on with somebody, or vice versa. Say for instance, he passed away. I don't know what happens from one day to the next, and I tell my kids this because you're sitting here looking at that other person like they always gonna be here. Hello, somebody, and they not promised to be here. They're not. I want to tell everybody on today that I'm not promised to be here. I tell my kids, listen to me when I'm telling you and teaching you things because it's somebody right now saying, I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have spent more time with that person. I wish I would have treated that person more better because they not promised. I'm telling you, you've been with that person for 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, and that person can pass away. Yes. So be mindful from day to day how you treat folks. Be mindful that love them while they're here. I don't care. They might be hateful. They might have every negative, turn it into a positive. Every negative that they got to say, turn it into something positive. Where these kids running around, they gonna tear this house up. No, these kids gonna help fix this house up. These kids gonna help wipe these walls down. These kids gonna help. Come on, everything negative that somebody can say about you, even if it's within your own household, you turn it into something positive because you can't afford the negative. I can't afford the negative. I'm going through enough. I gotta hear something positive. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I need some work done to my car, but it's gonna hold up until I'm able to do it. It gets me from point A to point B. My car is paid off. I ain't got nothing negative to say about none because life and death lies in the power of your own tongue. Hello? Life and death lies in the. If you say, you know what, my car, that old thing gonna break down and after a while it's gonna blow up, I would never say that. Life and death lies in the power of your own tongue. These kids tearing this house. One day they're gonna tear it down to the ground. I would never say that. And you know what? I got 7 kids. 3 are grown. One finally left away from home. I ain't heard nothing from him. He's 18. My oldest is autistic, so he'll probably be stuck around me. But even he about to get a place with his uncle. He ain't gonna stay by herself. I don't want him to stay by herself. My 22-year-old was in the army. She came back. She don't know if she wants to go back to the army. She's back. Listen, and then I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 17-year-old. They're older now. When they were younger, it was when I tell you it was hard. Oh my goodness, it was so hard. They're getting older now. All the ones that's old enough have jobs. 16-year-old got a job. The 22-year-old got a job. The 23-year-old got a job. Right? Even the 18-year-old got a job. That's out. They all got jobs. I'm trying to get them to go to college, right? But it's their choice. My 15-year-old, he wait until he gets 16 so he can get a job, right? So I bless God for that. They're having a work ethic. But let me tell you, I wanted to remind somebody that this is the day. I'm getting ready to go. I'm pumped. Kids are making caterpillars and we're turning them into butterflies on today. I'm excited about it. So we got a little crafting Sunday school. I'm getting ready to head out. We're having yogurt parfaits. I'm excited to be able to do something for the children because, you know, they are our future. And we have to put God into their lives. Like, really, you got to put, look, it's some kids that grew up, but they didn't even know God. You got to put God in your children's lives because, you know, because after a while, you're not going to be there no more. Grandma ain't gonna be there no more to pray for them, and they're gonna have to know God for themselves. So when they get in the situation and they way overseas somewhere or whatever the case may be, and you can't get around them, they got to understand that God is everywhere. God is everywhere, and all I got to do is cry out to Him. All I got to do is pray to Him. And even when it seems like I'm by myself, see, that's what I tell my daughter. Listen, when she went to Florida, when she went to basic training, got out and it was stationed in Florida. That was her first time being away from home, right? And she was scared. She was scared. She didn't even really want to go through with the whole process. But I said, baby, let me tell you something. I might not be there with you, but God, He everywhere. Come on, He everywhere. In every place. You ain't got to wait for Him to get there. You ain't got to wait for Him to wake up. Come on. He's up. He don't sleep. He never slumbers. The Bible says that He's there. So I just want to remind somebody on today that whatever you're facing on today, and you might have a silent war. It might be something that you can't tell nobody. Come on, a lot of times people that want to commit suicide, they never tell anybody. But the ones saying, "Hey, I'm gonna kill myself," those the ones just bluffing. But the ones that's silent and you never knew nothing was going on are the ones that take their own life. So I speak to you on today and tell you that even when you can't talk to nobody else because you're going through a thing, something happened to you and you tried to tell somebody, you can't tell nobody, baby, whatever the case is, God is there. and he's listening, and he works in mysterious ways, and he's able to handle your situation no matter what it is. I come to find out that there's a friend in Jesus. When you about to lose your mind, when you about to go off the deep end, when you about to hurt somebody, when you think you ain't got nobody you can depend on, there's a friend in Jesus. There's a friend in Jesus. Let me get ready to go because they pressuring me to go. Thank you for tuning in on today. I'm telling you, God is able. I had to speak to somebody because I begin to remind my own self that in the midst of, if I stay stuck in my little bubble, come on, you've been arguing with somebody, you've been fussing, bickering, and here you are, you're trying to create an atmosphere of praise, trying to get your mind right for church or work, whatever you got to do. You're just trying to get your mind in a stable position so you can make it through the day, because maybe you've been going through so much and people have put so much on you that you're like, and you begin to stop and just pray and say, God, you put me here for this purpose, to be able to help, inspire, encourage. Sometimes it gets tiresome, but God, I still thank you. And you begin to just name things of why you're thankful, or what you have that back in the day you didn't have. You say, you know what, I'm blessed. And you know what, this is the day that the Lord has made. And so I'm going to choose, I'm going to make the choice. I don't care what my mind is telling me. I don't care if my heart is broken on today. If I got to push the extra mile, if I got to, come on here, if I got to go, if I got to press my way, if I got to pray before I do it, if I got to fight, which I do got to fight every single day, if I got to cry, come on, whatever I got to do to be able to keep moving in a positive direction, knowing that God is able. Knowing that God is, do you have deodorant? Knowing that God is able. People spray for using my spray deodorant. I can't have nothing. So trust me, I understand. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'm out.